This is a Check This Out exclusive.
Of the 7.2 billion people on Earth, 3 billion have internet access. 2.1 billion are using social media right now.
Check This Out News, coming to you live. Welcome to another edition of Check This Out News. And it's our honor to have some legendary individuals in the music game. Arthur Mitchell is on the line with me right now, and we're going to discuss the state of music in 2018, and most of all, why music conferences are still very much relevant. If you're an emerging music artist looking to get into this game, it's time to tune in with no distractions. Arthur, thank you for joining us. Now, you're the founder of Urban Network Digital. Tell our listeners or remind them what you are doing in the urban space with music.
Well, Urban Network Digital is a spinoff of the Urban Network, which started in 1988, and we've been doing conferences since 1988. And as the music industry changed, we went more digital and less traditional, and everything is streaming and MP3s and digital downloads. I changed the company's name from Urban Network to Urban Network Digital so the urban community could get into that digital space where we were lacking.
You smart.
We weren't as tech as we needed to be. And one of the things that we're trying to do now is to teach emerging artists and people who want to be in the music industry how to make that transition and understand the digital world and how to make money and how to navigate through this very tricky new music business. Because what we're finding out is we really don't know what the music business is today because it changes as fast as a cell phone. I mean, one day we're doing, downloads and ringtones, and next thing, downloads ain't happening no more, and ringtones ain't no good no more, and iTunes is going to start selling downloads. We're going to go to a whole streaming method.
It's here today and gone tomorrow.
And as I traveled around and I went to other conferences, I noticed that, like I go to Digital Hollywood and I go to South by Southwest and on and on and on, I would look around and I would see not very many urban people or African-American people at these events. And so I said, let's change our conference a little bit so that we get into this space so we can bring the message to the people.
Absolutely. So is that why you also changed the name of the conference due to all those other factors you mentioned?
Yes. We changed it to This Business of Music Conference because I'll tell you something, man, and we lost a legend last week in Aretha Franklin, but one thing I remember about her, she was on American Idol as one of the mentors a few years ago, and I'll never forget this. And they had her in a room with the top 10, and they said, what would you think these artists need to know? And I was thinking, she's going to say, you need to sing from your diaphragm, and you need to, practice your vocals and your stage presence and all that. That would be what you would expect her to say something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what she said?
What'd she say?
You need to learn this business.
Damn straight.
Learn this business. She didn't tell them nothing about singing, nothing about dancing, nothing about vocals. She stressed to them, learn this business. And that is something we're trying to do in the urban community. You got to know this business. Too many of our young kids, they jump up and they decide they're going to be rappers, they decide they're going to be singers or artists, and they don't know this business.
You ain't got the answer.
And talent is only 10% of the business. Business is 90% of it.
Absolutely. Now, who are some of your past rock star guests, and who can we expect for this year's event?
Well, in the past, Urban Network has been responsible for being a part of breaking some of the biggest artists in the world. Beyonce and Destiny Child did their first breakout with Urban Network, and when we were in Palm Springs, we've had Ludacris. We've had Rick Ross, Every Day I'm Hustling, Rick Ross's first song. He did it first with us at Urban Network. We've had everybody come through. We've had R. Kelly, Will Smith, Ice Cube. Antoinette Smith broke her song, who played Faith Evans in the Biggie movie and is going on to do a lot of great things in the movie industry as well as vocally. She was a big part of the Urban Network. Chingy, the list goes on and on and on.
Ballin'.
Wow. That's what's up, man. So this year, any surprises in the bag?
Well, we're doing something really unique with a world-renowned jazz artist by the name of Eric Darius. He's been a top 10 jazz saxophonist for many years, and he's crossing over into pop and not pop, but AC, adult contemporary R&B, and he's doing some really cool stuff. And he's going to debut his new album at the conference, and that's going to be a big event that's going down on Friday night. And then we also do gospel, and Brent Jones, who had a #1 Billboard hit recently, is doing something with Childish Gambino. They're doing that's very good. And then we've got a lot of emerging artists. I mean, new up-and-coming acts that will get exposure there at the conference, and usually every year they go on to do something. I mean, we've had 5 artists that have performed at Urban Network go on and get Grammy nominations. The Grammy people come to the conference every year and look around. I mean, we're going to have some major players in the house. So if you're an emerging artist, the thing that you want to do is you want to be seen by the right people that can help you get your career to the next level.
No doubt. What separates your event from ASCAP, BMI, Revolt, South by Southwest, or even A3C?
Well, I've been to all of those, and they're all great conferences. But here's the problem with, I'll tell you, first of all, let's do South by Southwest. We started the same time as South by Southwest in the late 80s. And South by Southwest was a little bitty conference, and it was totally rock. That was their niche. And but now, in the last few years that I've been down there is 100,000 people walking down the middle of the street downtown Austin. Now that's where all the kids go, and in every club you've got acts performing, okay? And you got hip rappers that by the thousands doing shows down there. Shows with 8 or 9 people. Nobody in the room. Nobody of any significance. But down toward the convention center is where all of the executives go. And that's where all the deals are cut. That's where all the people of my caliber, they're down there. I'm one of the only people who go down to where the emerging talent is, where the artists are trying to get a break.
Okay,
and the problem that I have with it is that they go down there for South by Southwest, and yet they don't get any knowledge, and the people that they need to be seen by are somewhere totally different. So it does them no good to go to South by Southwest, because most of them are downtown performing in a club, rapping to other rappers.
Well,
so the people from ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, the label heads, the A&R people, they're all at the hotel down by the convention center, and they're not going nowhere near downtown where all the kids are who are performing, trying to get a break.
Let me hear you say, that ain't right. That ain't right. It ain't right.
So to me, that's what's wrong with South by Southwest.
We want to remind you to please like our Facebook page if you haven't already. When you join, you'll be able to receive weekly updated news and events, live video messages, and most importantly, you'll be able to interact with tons of people just like you. So go on that button on top of your Facebook page and give it a click, or interact with us on Instagram. Without each and every one of you, Tech This Out would not exist. We couldn't do it without you. Make sure to repost and share different things you see on our page. The more you share, the better. Be sure to watch previous shows on our YouTube channel, and please subscribe so that you can be notified when we post new content. We really want to connect and hear from you, so please don't hesitate to message us. And to find us online, please go to Tech This Out America on Facebook, Tech This Out on YouTube, Twitter, and all social media platforms. Get whole scope at techthisoutnews.com. We connect the streets.
Now, are you the only black-owned music conference?
We are the only black-owned totally. Well, I think Revolt also is. I mean,
sure.
That's a thing. But we're the longest, oldest black-owned music conference in the country.
Wow.
We've been
Okay.
around since 1989.
Awesome. Now, since this is Check This Out, what will artists learn in terms of music streaming and artists getting paid, social media, best practices, VR, and music?
You're going to learn today.
Well, first of all, we have a streaming panel on Thursday, and then Mike Johns from Check This Out is going to be speaking on Friday, dropping the knowledge on Bitcoins and things of that nature, and how artists can utilize the technology to make money. So fortunately, we got people like Mike Johns and people. We got a great streaming panel, and then we've got publishing panel, DJ panel, and we're confined. So one of the things that people always tell me and artists tell me is that what we like about your conference, Mr. Mitchell, is that we have access to the people. It's not like some of these bigger conferences where, the people get up there and they speak and, we can't get to them. But at your conference, we can get up and get a business card. We can hand them our business card. We can actually physically talk and interact. So we're a kind of conference that we don't want it to get that big. It defeats the purpose. We need that. We want the interaction and people to come away being able to say, I actually talked to Damien Dash. Or I actually talked to Mike Johns. I actually talked to some people from CSAC, the vice president of CSAC, or the Grammy people. They spent some time with me. So it's a more personal type of thing.
Okay.
So, Mr. Mitchell, I would ask you this. What advice would you give to musicians deciding which conference to attend?
It depends on what they're trying to do. If they're trying to reach the urban market and get the knowledge in a small classroom size, where you can get some one-on-one attention, our conference is the best conference. Now, if you want to go to a conference and hang out and party and say, you saw Lil Wayne or you saw Cardi B or whoever, and that's what you're going for, then and get lost in all of that.
Lost in the sauce.
Like AC360 is a great conference to have fun at. No kidding. You can have a ball. You can party. But to be able to get that intimate knowledge and chance to sit down, and in the lobby and kick it with, a high-level person from one of the labels, then Urban Network is where you should be.
Believe that.
What are 3 benefits attendees will gain by attending the Business of Music conference?
A great chance to network. We do what we call edutainment. You get a chance to learn a great deal of knowledge, and I have a philosophy about music. He who knows the most makes the most. Not he who sings the best or raps the best, but he who knows the most makes the most. So you get a chance to get that knowledge and get some one-on-one interaction. At the same time, you get an opportunity to perform if you're an artist. You can, get a chance to expose your talent to in a room or in a showcase where there'll actually be people in there that can help you, that can actually write a check and give you a record deal, give you a distribution deal, or take a liking to you and say, hey, give me a call, man. I'm going to show you. I'm going to help you. That's the kind of conference that we do. And then you get the chance to, expose your talent. You get a chance to get interviewed. There's plenty of media there. You get radio. There's social people that help you with your social media. I mean, we bring it all. We bring it all.
Okay. Now, why do urban music conferences seem marginalized, like Latin music, rock, EDM? There seems to always be a buzz. Music is one of the biggest assets that African Americans can control, but they don't. We don't. Why do you think that is?
Now you're getting into some tricky stuff. You know how we are.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, instead of us working together, we all want to go our separate ways. And so we split the baby up. And when we split it up, we're not